10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and a good day wherever you are on the World Wide Web. From New York, this Saturday, February 21st, this is the New York Connection, and I am Harold Pysadee. Well, I did promise to have a young Grenadian author to speak with this morning, but unfortunately, the young man can't get up. Just answering the phone. So we're going to move on this morning, all right? We have lots of things to talk about this morning, and we'll be going back in time to a Grenadian calypsonian that's celebrating a milestone this year, 30 years in the business, Elimas Gilbert Inspector. And we'll be hearing from a West Indian cricketing great this morning. But first, to tell you that, as we have been telling you this past few weeks, okay, Grenadian athlete Anthony George, Big George, is going through a medical crisis at the moment. He has been hospitalized for the better part of a few weeks, but now he's out of the hospital and is home. But he has to attend dialysis treatment 3 times a week. And you know, the costs of that is astronomical. Now, George is an athlete who served Grenada with distinction over the years in the field events at the Carifta Games, OECS Games, and the CAC Games, and also was an executive member of the Grenada Athletic Association, and represented Grenada in shot put and the discus events at the Whitsuntide Games, Texaco Games, OECS Championships, what have you. A commanding figure on the field, Big George. Well, he's going through that medical crisis now, and we are asking you to, dig a little deep in the pockets to help out the situation for him. Because, the costs of the dialysis just ain't easy. So you can reach out to his dear wife, Claudia. And the Claudia's number is 473-435-5577. That's 473-435-5577. Now, really and truly, try your best to help out Big George, all right? Because this is a medical crisis. 3 times dialysis treatment a week, and the cost just ain't easy. So we're asking you for a man who has given service to Grenada in sports, and one who has dedicated his life to develop the young folks, because he has coached them too, is now in need of your help. So please reach out to Big George, okay? And tonight, yes, it's happening. The Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique and New York Adventist organization is having the big annual Independence Cultural Extravaganza. Yeah, that's coming off this evening at 7:30 at PS 289 George V. Brower Auditorium, and that's at 900 St. Mark's Avenue between Brooklyn and Kingston. Join them as they celebrate independence with folk songs, drama, music, and laughter. Now, admission is $10 for adults and $5 children 12 and under. Just appear and pay to go in. There'll be traditional dishes on sale at a nominal cost. Come and laugh till your belly busts, they say. So remember to spend the evening this evening with the folks and friends of the Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique New York Adventist organization as they celebrate independence with the annual Independence Cultural Extravaganza. Folk songs, drama, music, laughter, and food to buy and eat after. Can't beat that combination. Now, I understand there's still tickets available that you can rush down to Grenada to celebrate with the Republic Back Angel Harp Steel Orchestra, celebrating 50 years as a pan-side. And also to look at some test cricket, West Indies versus England. Well, West Indies pulled off that great victory yesterday, but I must admit, against a woeful and sad-looking Pakistan team. Ooh, they looked like they were carrying concrete on their legs last night. Anyway, it was a great victory. Good to see the boys win something. Let's see how they will carry on for the rest of the tournament. And did you see the Grenadian flag yesterday in Christchurch? Refreshing to see that flag flying. But remember that Go Grenada, okay, April 21st to 25th is the test match between West Indies and England, and then the schedule of activities for the Angel Ops 50th anniversary. Yeah, the Sunday the 12th is a church service and opening ceremony. Monday the 13th, the panel discussion night, the history of Pan in Grenada. Tuesday the 14th, the gala and exhibition evening. Wednesday the 15th, the Pan Yard Lime and the rehearsal for the concert for the next day, which is Thursday the 16th. And then Friday, it's the Rum Runner Cruise. Saturday, the award ceremony. And Sunday, the Beach Lime and Cookout. Understand you can still, get your seats if you Google them, see what's happening for Grenada, and have time to go down for that double celebration. And also the Grenada 2015 Alumni Week, the first of its kind, the first combined reunion embracing the past, empowering the future. Join classmates and friends and family in Grenada July 30th to August the 5th. Celebrating the 70s secondary school years with the first ever combined reunion, but any alumni is invited. Open to all who wish to unite in Grenada with friends and family. But it's all about networking, because this is to pool resources so that things like scholarships for students, development of culture, health, that's the whole idea of getting this group together. For more information, you can go to GDA2015alumniweek.com. That's GDA2015alumniweek.com. It's going to be big. Be a part of it. It's all for Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique. And the independence celebrations in Toronto, Canada continue next Saturday, the 28th, with the showcasing of the Grenada Literary Night. Doors opening at 1 o'clock. And it's at the Japanese Canadian Cultural Centre at 6 Garamond Court in Toronto. And then on March the 7th, from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., it's to spice it up, the last lap of the independence celebrations in Toronto. You can call the consulate 416-595-1343. That's 416-595-1343. Hey, a Grenadian Calypsonian icon is celebrating 30 years in the business this year. Oh, yes. It was the carnival season of 1985 that the lanky Elymus Gilbert from Sater St. Patrick's became Inspector, the junior Calypso monarch and the Road March King of Grenada. Now, 30 years later, and with 10 national titles under his belt, the Hitman is embarking on a major celebration of his accomplishments and his successes. The celebrations will be built around Inspector's committed and loyal fans, and every component of the anniversary will be fashioned with the aim of pleasing the fans, including the fans, and showing appreciation for the fans. I like that. Well, the 30th anniversary celebrations for Inspector will officially launch in early June. But we're starting it here. Yeah. Well, fans of Inspector can expect remakes of a couple of hits from yesteryear, a very special commemorative collection of songs on CD, and on Sunday, August the 2nd, Inspector will host a night of great entertainment featuring a plethora of local superstars, along with some of Inspector's regional friends in Calypso and Soca. The event will be a fete and a show that will bring back some of the nostalgia of Sea Moon and the old Queen's Park. The milestone is a major one, and a celebration befitting the magnitude of the occasion will unfold in the coming weeks. The Hitman, the veteran, is already working on new material for the 2015 Carnival season, while refreshing the older hits in anticipation of what should be a phenomenal and dynamic 30th anniversary. Well, we're going to go back in time now with Inspector. We're going to hear him sing and we're going to hear him talk. Celebration is going to be huge. The year is 1995. Location, the old Queen's Park. In the days when 20,000 strong used to come down for the March Gras. Singing in round one at the March Gras. The name of the song is Reaching Out. This is the Serious Specky.
I know it really hard deep inside, we all feel the pain. And some of us telling ourselves the country can rise again. The world recession is really taking a toll on us. And because the country is poor, we feeling the pressure first. Our country badly needs some money, yes, to help stabilize the economy. Them other countries stop helping us, Lord. Can't you see they betrayed our trust? But now is the time to throw differences behind our back. It's time we get serious, take the country future at heart. We have to get up and start building our nation ourselves. We cannot depend on nobody else. I'm reaching out to you, Grenadians, be good and true. And that's the only way we will rise. We have to hold on tight, we really got to unite. It's the only way we will win the fight. I'm reaching out to you, reach out to somebody too. We have to join hands and fight for the cause. We have to hold some strength and prove our love and trust. It's time we know our nation future depends on us. Bidi die 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 do. Bidi The jobless situation is really frustrating indeed, especially for young school leavers who are really in need. After all these years of school, now you finish, you want money. You apply for a job, all you hear is no vacancy. You decide you can't take this thing no more, no. So you're choosing the easiest way to go. Now you turn to prostitution and crime, Lord. You start using drugs and you lost your mind. But breaking the laws really does not solve the problem we face. All it do is bring shame and disgrace on Grenada face. And falling victims to this devilish thing are not so nice, because in the end we will pay the price. I'm reaching out to you, Grenadians, be good and true. And that's the only way we will rise. We have to hold on tight, we really got to unite. It's the only way we will win the fight. I'm reaching out to you, reach out to somebody too. We have to join hands and fight for the cause. We have to hold some strength and prove our love and trust. It's time we know our nation future depends on us. Hey! Bidu papa mi na 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 do la da 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 do. I firmly believe that we show some good chances down the drain. some opportunities that might never come back again. Don't take our land for granted and joke with freedom. Some will disagree with me and say that I'm wrong, but my intention I am stating clear. Yes, put your best foot forward to get somewhere. We could make this land number one with dignity and pride if we show concern. I hate anything if it deals with corruption. I hate anything if it deals with destruction. Don't sit and ask yourself what the country could do for you. Ask what you can do for the country too. Alright? I'm reaching out to you. Grenadians, be good and true. And that's the only way we will rise. We have to hold on tight. We really got to unite. It's the only way we will win the fight. I'm reaching out.
Oh yes, 1995, reaching out live at the old Queen's Park at Dimash Gra there. Reaching out, Elimus Gilbert Inspector. Oh boy, what a performance. Not symptomatic of the man these days, but remember, Specky was a Kaisonian first before a soca man, and still a Kaisonian. Alright, so let's dig deep now into the Culture Share archives and go back to 1995 when I sat with Specky to have a chat. And I asked Specky about, life then and the Calypso business and how things are going and looking back at his life and what have you. This and that, the tete-a-tete went. And this is how Specky began.
Well, Harold, you talk about the people who influenced me in around 85 when I now start. Now today I'm mature in the business. I could talk about the people who, some of them, who I look up to today.
Am I one of them?
Of course, yes.
Boy, you could lie me. Boy, that what they calling me lie must, he must lie. But yes, but I'm sure that you have been influenced by other people in the art form, haven't you?
Well, the Mighty Sparrow, of course, the greatest. Calypso Rose, I love Arrow. The Soca King, and Swallow, just to name a few. Of course, Ajamo too.
Now, when you wake up in the morning, you have a show in the night time. Now, before you brush your teeth, which I hope you do in the morning, I'm only kidding. I mean, you're a good fella, man, But Gentle, you do that? You do that, Gentle? Yeah. Yeah. When you toothpicks, okay. You use toothpicks. Move on to forks, boy. But when you think about the show you're doing in the night time, what goes through your head for that day?
Well, I sit down and I plan my stuff sometimes. If I perform on Friday night at Fantasia or Tilden Hall, and I have a show on Saturday night, if I tell the people run to the left, run to the right on Friday night, Saturday night I'm thinking about something different, because you never know, it might be the same set of people coming back. So I want every time they see Inspector, they see something different from the hitman. So on Saturday night, I'm planning my stuff during the day, so I could tell them, instead of running to the left, run to the right, back, or push up front. Just to make it short and sweet.
Now, when you have a train of thought going, for instance, you may have a concept in your head as to a calypso you want to compose, and then the creative juices begin to flow, and they may be in a particular situation. You may be in a car, you may be in the bathroom, you may be on the toilet seat, you may be just walking the street, going to pick up your laundry down at the end of the block, and the movement is going, and then all of a sudden a partner happened to pass and I can say, "Hey Specky, what's going on, boy? Let me talk." Boy, I can imagine you might.
I know it's problems, because you see, if you get an idea, for example, if you're sleeping, you jump up in the sleep, you get an idea, you have to tip it one time, because if you go back and sleep, when you get up that gun, you might be knocking up your head for it. If you walk in the street and something come to your mind, or and you're thinking about it, you have to try your best to cram it or to hold it there for when you reach home to put it down. So if somebody pass and wave you and you have a long conversation, that might go on. Not all the time it happens. For example, do you remember, I don't know if that happened to you, when you was younger and your mother sent you in the shop to buy some saltfish. And
I don't know why Gentle is laughing. Go ahead, Specky.
well, you is a street man, I is a street man. Both of us is ghetto people, so we know. Gentle know about the Yankee life.
All right, good.
And then your mother tell you, make sure you remember that, and you don't want to forget. So from the house to the shop, you're saying in your mind, quarter pound saltfish, until you reach in the shop. Sometimes when you reach in the shop, you forget. So it's like that. If I get an idea from the store, from the laundry, I keep it in my head. And I keep singing all the time in my mind until I reach home. As I reach home, I put it on the table, on the Walkman. If I'm in the bathroom, well, that's more easier. From the bathroom to the bedroom, right there, like the babysitter.
But if that... You're not easy. But if that friend disturbs you and you lose that thought, you think you can really face that friend and deal with him on the same level as you did before?
Well, the most important thing, he don't know.
You wouldn't say anything?
So I wouldn't say anything, he don't know. For example, I remember in 1986, when I used to be going to school at SAS. After school, a guy was selling nuts. And he was like, get your nuts, get your fresh nuts. No kicks for 86, get your nuts. You know home, they always have this slang. And I said to myself, no kicks for 86. That's a nice topic. And you know I had to defend my road match. So I crammed that, no kicks for 86. And when I went down to Sotels, I put that together. And up to today, if I tell the guy, I hear that from him, he will never believe. I remember when Canada performed once, and I did not sing No Kicks. And he came up to me and he said, boy, No Kicks is a hard tune, and how come you don't do that? And I was waiting all night for it, and he started carrying on.
That was the same guy?
That was the same guy. I just look at him and I smile. Up to now, he don't know if it's from him. I heard that from.
Well, let's hope in Grenada looking at Culture Share now.
He might be looking at me now, but he don't know if it's from him. I could call him name, but we're going to leave it like that.
If you want to sing in a certain topic and you feel that you need to collaborate on it, do you have a problem in going to someone and say, look, I just need some assistance in this composition?
No, I don't know. I don't have no problem at all. For example, the more you live, the more you learn. And music is something you can never stop learning. It's like an arranger. The more he arranges, the more you read books, the more, you get ideas. For example, every time I write a calypso, I always call you. And I said, Harold, what you think? You come over, you make me sing, you listen to the lyrics, you change the words, you say, take out this, put that there. It's better for me, and it's better for the art form. So at least people outside, they could understand what we're saying more. And they could think and say, well, yes, the music going places. They could listen to the words and understand what we're really talking about.
Okay, that's Elimas Gilbert, Inspector. That's a 1995. Woo, boy, we getting old. 1995 when we sat down to do that discussion on a Culture Share back then, and celebrating 30 years in the business this year with a big show coming up in August, and plans will officially launch in June. But we talking Specky 30th anniversary ever so often on the connection during the course of the year. Okay, all celebrations and congrats to you, Limas. Well, we happy this morning. West Indies win a game last night. They beat Pakistan. It's a victory. I don't care how you look at it, huh? Well, we're feeling happy, so we're going to keep a happy aura this morning. Brian Lara, is widely acknowledged as one of the greatest cricketers of all time. He topped the Test batting rankings. Yes. What happened here? What happened here? Okay, he topped the Test batting rankings on several occasions and holds several cricketing records, including the record for the highest individual score in first-class cricket with 501 not out for Warwickshire against Durham at Edgbaston in 1994, which is the only quintuple hundred in first-class cricket history. Brian Lara also holds the record for the highest individual score in a Test innings after scoring 400 not out against England at Antigua in 2004. He is the only batsman to have ever scored 100, a double century, a triple century, a quadruple century, and a quintuple century in first-class games over the course of a senior career. Lara also holds the test record for scoring the highest number of runs in a single over in a test match when he scored 28 off an over by Robin Peterson of South Africa in 2003. Now, Lara's match-winning performance of 153 not out against Australia in Bridgetown, Barbados in 1999 has been rated by Wisden as the second best batting performance in the history of Test cricket, next only to the 270 runs scored by Sir Donald Bradman in the Ashes Test of 1937. Muttiah Muralitharan, rated as the greatest test match bowler ever by the Wisden Cricketers' Almanac and the highest wicket-taker in both test cricket and one-day internationals, has hailed Lara as his toughest opponent among all batsmen in the world. Well, at the MCC versus the rest of the world dinner at Lord's a few months ago, Brian Lara spoke on how he approached batting and breaking records.
I believe that it's sort of like destiny. When you start talking about those numbers like 501 or 400, I believe that it's hard to explain. You know, like, okay, you'll be asking me here tonight in front of 600 people, but when a 10-year-old or 12-year-old asks you, Brian, how you score 400 runs, it's difficult to really tell him. And I believe that my plan throughout my career as a batsman was to understand the situation of the game very early and to understand the part that I wanted to play. And most importantly, I thought that I had to bat for the entire team. I never left it to anybody else. So I always wanted to be out there in the middle, and landmarks weren't an issue, 50, 100, 150. I knew for a fact that if you're batting first in a test match, you're going to bat for 5 sessions. If you bat in second and the team made 300 batting first, you're still going to bat for 5 or 6 sessions. And I wanted to occupy the crease every single minute of that opportunity that we had to bat. So it's not about setting targets. I mean, I remember, and a lot of people said, how is that a single-minded effort? I remember Viv Richards, who I had to drive around England in 1991. He had a Vauxhall Calibra or something like that, right? And I was 20 years old, and I said, great, lovely car, skipper. He said, you like it? I said, yeah. So you want to drive? I said, yeah. So I drove him behind the team bus from London to Birmingham. And you need to know the size of Trinidad. I mean, if you drive from London to Birmingham, you drive around the island 5 times. So after we finished with Birmingham, I jumped into the bus, and my name back in those days was Pops. And he came to the front of the bus and he said, Pops. I'm sitting in the back and I'm ducking. Pops. You know Viv? Pops. I said, yeah. He said, come. So I drove Viv for the entire summer all around England. And I remember asking him one day for a game. I said, so Viv, I mean, you have me on the bench carrying towels for the last 3 months. Can I have a game? And he said to me, go and score 100. And we were playing against Hampshire. I don't know if you were playing.
Indeed.
And to the
I'm
point.
deeply hurt you don't remember my impact on that match.
To the point, but I couldn't get the ball off the square. And if I was to advise any youngster about batting, I believe that team situation motivated me more than anything else.
Yeah, that's Brian Lara, the great West Indian batsman. Remember tonight, the Grenada Carriacou Petit Martinique New York Seventh-day Adventist Organization having the annual Independence Cultural Extravaganza. Come out, support! Begins at 7:30 this evening at PS 289 George V. Brower Auditorium, School Auditorium. That's at 900 St. Mark's Avenue between Brooklyn and Kingston. Okay, admission $10 for adults, $5 for children 12 and under. There are going to be folk songs, drama, music, laughter, and you'll be able to buy food after, local Grenadian dishes. Have a good time. That's a wrap, folks. Join me same time next week for another program. Harold Pysadee in New York. Have a blessed week. And you'll be able to buy food after.